Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Halloween, the 2018 version. So, quick backstory with Jamie Lee Curtis. That's the only one who's in it. That's all that matters. And Mike Myers, right? So, backstory with me a little bit on horror stories. I don't watch a lot anymore. But when I was younger, I watched all the Halloweens. I watched all the Friday the 13th. I watched all the Nightmare on Elm Streets. They were awesome. Loved watching them. Couldn't wait for the next one, even though they got more and more ridiculous. But Halloween, even Halloween 3 with the masks, I read somewhere something that did tie into all of the Mike Myers stuff, but I don't remember what that was all about. But anyway, and I remember one time in college, this was, I guess back in the 90s, we watched all of the Halloweens back to back, like morning to night. That was pretty fun. I remember that, but I think we did skip 3 though. Although I've already seen it. Anyway, so this is the latest version. I was trying to think as I was getting my tea ready, getting ready to drink this. I was like, what happened at the end of the last one? And I thought he was decapitated. Jamie Lee Curtis had decapitated Michael. But then I think I remember they took off the mask and it wasn't actually him. So I think that was the last one. Anyway, that's all I remember. All the other ones I remember when they had the house that the people stayed in, the reality show, whatever. So now, here's this one. I don't know what's going to happen. But we know, he terrorizes, and she's out trying to find him. I don't know. Who knows what's going on. I'll watch the beginning of it, and maybe that'll help us remember what happened in the last 27 episodes of Halloween. And I'll let you know, and tell you how it's going, so stick around. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching Halloween in 2018, 41 minute, 32 second mark. So, some things to tell you. First of all, I didn't research this as I normally do. I don't research anything really about it as much. I see the advertisements and try and even stay away from trailers. So I wasn't aware of this, and I'm going to save you some time of Googling. So this is actually a sequel to the original Halloween. It's not. I didn't know that. So they had Halloween H2O, that's with the decapitation, the resurrection, that's with Busta Rhymes, and the reality show, whatever, all that kind of stuff. So this movie forgets that ever happened from 2 on. The only thing that this one is referring to is the first one. So it's a true sequel to the first one, but it's done 40 years later. Which is an interesting take. I've never seen anything like this before. They had reboots. Rob Zombie did a reboot, did 1 and 2, rebooted it, and I watched those as well. But this is something completely different, a different take on it. 40 years later, he's been in prison or a mental hospital for all these years. He's only killed 5 people. That's the first thing that tipped me off. Somebody's talking to Jamie Lee Curtis, and she says, he killed 5 people. I was like, no, Mike Myers killed a lot more than 5 people. Well, no, if they're referring to the first movie, that's all he did was 5. Now this is 40 years, from that time it's happening. It's today, and what has happened to Jamie Lee Curtis's character since that time, and he's been locked up. And what happens, of course, as you can imagine, he escapes from prison. So this is right where we're at right now. He kind of escapes. We get a little glimpse into Jamie Lee Curtis's family. She's now a grandmother. How she raised her daughter after that happened. What happened with her family. All that kind of stuff is interwoven into this beginning part of the movie, and how it is to get his mask and stuff like that. So we're just getting started. It's an hour and 45 minutes long, but I wanted to correct that now. The opening credits were amazing, and now it kind of makes more sense that I figured out. But I was watching the opening credits, and it has the music, but it's so like retro or vintage, like it was in the 70s and 80s with the credits, the song. It was really made you feel like, wow, I'm watching it back then, or one of the originals. And so far it is kind of keeping to that mantra of the movie. So we'll see where it goes. Judy Greer plays Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter in this, and there's a whole history there that I won't get into because it's part of the fun. But now you know what it's about. It's a sequel to the first one, and everything else in between never existed in this movie. So I didn't know that. Now you do. That's going to save you some Google time if you didn't, and when you start watching it. So, all right. I'm going to get back into it and stop talking, and I'll check back in a little bit. Alright, see ya. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Halloween, and you know, I don't know really what to think, to be honest with you. So the first part I thought was interesting in the fact that, you know, this is the sequel. I thought that was cool, how they went retro, and the whole movie has that feel of, you know, it really was like a sequel. It wasn't a remake, it wasn't anything, you know, futuristic. It really tied in well with the way that they filmed the first two, actually, but the first one more importantly. But after you get the backstory and you know what's going on, the rest of it is your normal Halloween movie. He escapes, puts on the mask, starts killing people, goes after Jamie Lee Curtis, and then what happens? You know, I mean, that's really what it is. Now, it ties in the whole family tree. So Jamie Lee Curtis is the grandmother, Judy Greer is the mother, and then this other girl, teenage girl, she's the granddaughter, you know. So they all appear in this, but it's still Michael Myers going after Judith, whatever her last name is, I forget. But you know what I mean? Like, that's really all the movie's about. And then in like every movie, you know, does Jamie Lee Curtis defeat him? And is it truly over, or is there a possibility of a sequel? I won't tell you either way. Let you find out on your own if you're interested in seeing this. But you know, it's really all there is to it. There's not much else, you know, besides that. I mean, it's a Halloween movie, you know. I was gonna say Jason, but Michael, you know, and that's it. So I'm not gonna go on any further. There's not much more to tell. That's it. That's all I got for you. I can't make stuff up. Check it out. Let me know what you think. What do I give it? I give it probably a 6. A 6. The first half was really good, and the second half, like I said, just regular Halloween movie. I'm being repetitive like they are, so it's painful for you. No, it's not that painful. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Love to hear from you. I love the retro. Other than that, that's it. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.